Hey, just a heads up, this review will be mostly spoiler free. The only spoilers are related to gameplay mechanics. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the 13th game in the Yakuza Like a Dragon / Judgement series. It is the second game to star Ichiban Kazuka as the protagonist, as well as the last game to star Kazuma Kiryu as the protagonist. It is also the second game to have the turn-based combat system. Because of that, fans were excited to see what it would improve upon from the last game. I could say overall that the combat was significantly improved in a way that may make it hard to go back to 7. However, the combat has one major flaw, and that one flaw is a flaw in almost every aspect of this game. That being, Kiryu. To clarify, the reason why Kiryu is a flaw isn't because he's bad, he's the exact opposite. He's too good and completely outshines Ichiban in most aspects of the game. The game's combat introduces a new proximity ring, proximity bonuses, back attacks, a new tag team meter, and combo attacks. Both characters have these alongside most of the mechanics from Yakuza 7. Midway through the game, Kiryu leaves the party and becomes the second main character in a Jincho / Kamurocho while Ichiban stays in Hawaii. Each character has their own party members, cities, and side content. So why is Kiryu better than Ichiban? Well, in terms of combat, Kiryu's main class, Dragon Dojima, allows for him to have button prompts when you do a proximity bonus. Kiryu can also switch between free styles on the fly. And when Kiryu gets his tag team meter full, Kiryu is able to go into the extreme heat mode from Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2. Ichiban and the other characters don't have button prompts or extra damage with proximity bonuses, cannot switch styles on the fly, and Ichiban's tag team move is best used when all other party members have their tag team moves ready, as Ichiban's tag team move doesn't require a meter and can have up to 4 characters. On top of this, the tag team moves are all pretty similar, so there's no reason to use them on Ichiban's side. On Kiryu's side, however, while some of the tag teams are definitely basic, Kiryu's side has 2 fire tag team moves and a tag team move that heals the party, which puts a lot more strategy into the combat and doesn't exist on Ichiban's side. Although, Kiryu's side should have had his other 2 tag team moves be the other 2 elements in the game. Another thing that harms Ichiban's side is that he doesn't get the last party member until the second to last chapter of the game, and by that point you should already have your party set up for the end game. Kiryu gets his by his second chapter of 4, but Kiryu also completely outdoes Ichiban's side content. Kiryu has something called the bucket list and the part-time hero request, which despite being less, Kiryu's bucket list is basically a giant love letter to fans as you get to see Kiryu remember a bunch of older characters and even meet some older characters. It doesn't even feel like nostalgia bait or, look guys, we referenced this thing, as there's actual effort put into making the references feel like love letters. Without spoiling much, one of the characters you meet is a character that isn't super popular, nor is he really the first character you would think of when thinking of Kiryu. But the fact that they have him of all characters come back in a meaningful way was when I was 100% certain that this was a mechanic made out of love. Even part-time hero, a mechanic I never really bothered with in 7, was something I did everything of because it was worth it for the money alone. Ichiban's side content is just kinda there. Despite the game being called Infinite Wealth, there is no business minigame. Instead, you have an expanded Pokemon parody in Dondoko Island, an island resort minigame. Both of these got repetitive very quickly. These are also alongside more smaller scale minigames. A lot of Ichiban's other side content and quests are just kinda mediocre. There was one quest about a lemonade stand, but the rest did feel like they were kinda there. A far cry from 7's spectacular side content. Ichiban also has a thing called Aloha Links, where you can say hi to random people on the streets of Hawaii. You even have to save buddies you make from crooks, but you rarely ever get a good enough reward to even bother doing these. That being said, I still went out of my way to say hi to anyone I saw because it just felt good to. This is the type of game where you can just ride in a trolley across town. One other thing I will say about side content is that for some god-awful reason, they changed how you fight Amon. Amon isn't fought by doing all the side content. He's fought by going to the bottom of an optional dungeon, and unlike previous games, only one character gets to fight Amon, that being Kiryu. That's right. Ichiban doesn't fight Amon for some reason. Instead, he fights in knockoff Power Rangers, and it just isn't the same. In terms of story, I will say that I think Kiryu's story was better overall, as Ichiban has a relationship that just feels kinda forced compared to a relationship that I wish got more focus. Especially very late where it feels like Ichiban should have a way different ending than he actually does in the game, while Kiryu's ending is exactly what I wanted from Yakuza 6. Ironically, even though I know it makes more sense as to why Kiryu is doing turn-based combat this game, I do kinda wish Kiryu had a brawler mode, as there are some fights, specifically one in chapter 12, that I would love to do in brawler combat. Before I give my overall thoughts, here's some praise and complaints that I want to give that aren't related to Kiryu. A facet of combat that returns from 7 is the Poundmate. Poundmate's got a slight change to this game in that some will act as a 5th party member in battle, while others will be a cutscene nuke. This is a great change and something I would love to see expanded. This game also had temporary support party members during certain points in the game, which led to some really great moments. Turn-based combat is also used to great effect in this game, as RGG Studios seems to have implemented more gimmicky set pieces throughout the game. This next part is definitely going to be more subjective. Man, the OST in this game was just unmemorable, and in some cases, just kinda bad. Here's legit not a single song I vibed with. New karaoke music is pretty good though, although I do wish they remade the visuals from the reused 7 songs like they did for the reused Kiryu songs. Overall, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is really good at being the finale for Kiryu, but as Ichiban's second entry, there's a lot to be desired, and I do hope the next game can expand on the flaws of this game. There is something really good here, but it can be better. Kiryu showed it can be better. Yamai is the best new character and I hope we see him again. Please RGG. Let him out of prison before Yakuza Dragon 9. Water break, I need a water break. Holy shit. Don't keep this in, Matt.